Hi, what's going on YouTubers, gamers and hobbyists? Welcome to part 2 of airbrushing for beginners. And I do stress beginners because I am a beginner. I'm going to look at the compressor side of things today, plus a couple of extra things that you will need in your airbrushing endeavours. So let's get over to the painting station. Right, so we're at the painting station now, so I'll just show you a couple of things that you will need when you're airbrushing as well. One is airbrush thinner. Now you will need this to thin down your paints. Say you want to use, I don't know, for example, Citadel, I don't know, Mephiston Red or something. And you know that the base paints of Citadel are really thick, so you have to use a fair bit of this to milk it. You want it to the consistency of milk. If, however, you buy the airbrush version of it, which I've just got, you'll see that it is pretty thin. But even then, I'd be inclined to put a couple of drops of this in. It makes it flowing through your airbrush so much easier. Alright. One other thing you will need is this, because we're going to cover on cleaning the airbrush later on. Okay, so you need to get yourself some airbrush cleaner. Now don't confuse the two. Airbrush cleaner and airbrush thinner are two different things. Alright, you can't really thin down your paints with this. I suppose you could, but it's also designed to lubricate the mechanism, the needle and that of your airbrush. So really I would recommend you use this. Some people use water. No, I wouldn't, not in an airbrush. No, no sir. Another thing, which is good to have, you don't have to have it, but is a airbrush cleaning pot. And I'll stop the video, I'll stop this and I'll get my airbrush and show you what it is. Okay, so you got your airbrush, and as I've showed you in the last video, you just attach it with your quick release valve onto the hose. Alright, you've put your compressor on, you've been airbrushing your miniatures, say blah blah blah, you know, you're just airbrushing it like that, or whatever. Alright, then you come to clean up, which we'll cover later on, but during the clean up process, any excess you wish to spray out, put the nozzle in there, just spray it out, and the fumes come through here, which is filtered, and you can make these, it's just a jar, and all the excess cleaning fluid, water, whatever you're using to clean out your airbrush goes into here, and then you can just dispose of the liquid at another time. Okay, so let's look at the compressor I use. Now before we do, there are many types of compressor. Now some are just like literally square boxes or other objects. I've even seen them in the shape of elephants. Get them reasonably cheap from some hobby stores and the like, and they're just electric. They just plug in, switch on, and they blast air through your airbrush. All good. I don't know if they all have the ability to alter the PSI. In fact, I'm not sure if they even have that ability. But speaking from my personal experience, I recommend you getting a compressor where you can alter the PSI. That's the pressure of the air that's coming out. Obviously the higher the pressure, the faster it blasts the air out, and you know, lower the pressure, it doesn't come out, it comes out nice and gently, and there's all sorts of differences to that which we'll look at a later time. So I recommend getting a compressor with a tank where the engine sucks the air into the tank till it gets to the right volume of air, and then it turns itself off. I'll show you mine. Okay, so here's my compressor. As you can see, it's like it's got a tank on the side. This bit up here, it's got a handy carrying handle as well. It's a pretty hefty device. It's quite heavy. Little motor in there. This is all in here as well. And this is the air tank right here. And when you switch it on, it's connected to your airbrush. When you switch it on first, your PSI will start going up. Just switch it on, it will sound like this. Yeah. And as you can see, the The PSI is gradually going up. That's because the air is getting into the tank. So we won't wait until it's full. I'll stop this clip now and I'll come back when it's all done. Okay, there we are. That's all done. Didn't take long. Now it's at the pressure, whatever it was last time I was using it. About 28 psi. Sorry about the crack on there. I dropped a metal miniature on it, but it still works fine. Now this is the dial where you adjust the psi. So just pull it up, turn it to minus, and you should notice the psi. Get it right. You should notice the psi drop down. There you go. So it's about 20 now, and it's the place you want. Just press it down. Now your airbrush, all the air's in there. If you depress the trigger, the air will start flowing. See? And as you can see, there's no noise at the moment. When it's used up the air, all the air it can, it'll come on again and start filling up with more air. Alright? So you're airbrushing away. You get quite a bit. Let's just turn up the PSI a moment. There. Hear the difference? See, I'm blowing the paper towel there. Like I say, once it gets low enough, it'll pop itself back on. There you go. You can continue spraying, just pay no attention to that. Obviously if you want to do a tutorial, I'd do a voiceover one with this on. Yeah, this pot's very handy for just holding your airbrush in there, so you can use it for that. Alright, so I'll turn it off now. Okay, a couple of other features. One that's good to have, just put the handle down there. This here is like a moisture trap, collects moisture. I don't know if you can see it on here, there's a tiny bit there. It filters it out for you so that by the time the air comes to your airbrush, it's just air. Also, there is a safety air release valve here. If you pull that, the air will come out. Yeah, which I recommend you do at the end of every day. Yeah, so there you go, and good to go. So that's what I recommend you get for your compressor setup, something like I've got if you're a beginner, because although the more advanced people use all the PSIs and all that kind of stuff and all the features, and like it's like I was saying with the dual action airbrush, you know, the pros use them because they can do so much more with it, and it's good to go straight into that, because if you use the other stuff, I think it's harder to airbrush. I think it would be so much harder if you could not control the air pressure, because it makes such a huge difference on the air spray coming out. It's nice to be able to adjust it and find your sweet spot. So yes, that's what I recommend as a beginner, going in with that. Okay guys, I'll see you on the next video. All brushes lead to war.